eucalyptus trees. I believe the koala bears love these trees.
G'day, mate. Well, firstly, they're not koala bears, okay? They're just koalas. We don't call them koala bears. They're not related to a bear. We do have bears in Australia, though, and they're pretty nasty little things. They're actually what we call drop bears, and they're a very close relation to the koala bear. They're just a meaner, smaller version of a koala bear, but it's called a drop bear, or otherwise known by the scientific name of Koalarus dropsiloticus. Now, drop bears, you've got to be careful of them. They can be really nasty. What happens is during breeding season, the male koalas, they get very protective of the trees that they're nesting in. And if you come too close to the tree that they're nesting in, they'll actually give you a warning call. It's sort of like a sound like a cat being strangled. It's sort of a rah sort of noise. And if you don't heed that warning and get out from underneath that tree, the drop bear will actually drop down out of the tree, landing on like your head or your shoulder, and it'll attack you. And they're really vicious little things. There have been fatalities from drop bears. There was actually a lady just down the road here a couple of weeks ago who got attacked by a drop bear, and it grabbed hold of her ear and virtually ripped her ear clean off her head. She had to get stitches to reattach her ear. So they can be really nasty things. But they're only dangerous during breeding season, which happens to be right now. So you've got to watch out for them. Now, back in the old days in Australia, there used to be a big problem with drop bears. You know, they're getting actually quite rare and endangered nowadays. It's mainly because of habitat destruction. Their habitats are being cut down, so they're getting fairly rare. But back in the old days, back in the logging period, they used to have a big problem with drop bears coming down and attacking them as they were logging the trees. So what the old timers realised, if you got this yeast extract, and to put your yeast extract behind your ears, if a drop bear landed on you, it'd smell the yeast extract, it didn't like the smell, and it'd jump off and it wouldn't attack. And then through being out in the bush, out in the ears, you know, they didn't have a lot to eat, and the old timers realised that they could actually put that yeast extract on their bread or their damper, and they could eat it. And eventually someone mass-produced it, marketed it, and called it Vegemite. So that's where Vegemite first came from. It was originally derived as drop bear repellent. So when you're out in the bush, if you don't have a hat, a lot of Australians will wear an akubra like this. You'll see it's got quite stiff brims. You'll see a lot of Australians in the bush wearing these hats, and this is actually for drop bear protection. Not just for the sun, but also drop bear protection. If the drop bear comes down and hits the side of this, it's quite stiff and it actually bounces off the side and protects you. But if you don't have an akubra or a stiff brimmed hat, just get some Vegemite, whack it behind the ears, and you should be all good. Okay? Just remember, ask any Aussie. They'll tell you.